guys, Carolyn here. Today I'm going to be doing my K-pop comebacks I want to see in 2020 video. Literally insane. I was watching my 2019 one last night because I watched all of them last night so I could film these all today. And in that video I was like, it's always so weird to say like the new year, and then by the end of the year when I watch the video back, I'm like, yeah, that's not that weird. Like, it's been 2020 for 12 months. Like, it's been 2019 for 12 months and I'm so used to it being 2019, but also sometimes it feels like it's 2018 still. I don't know. We're not sure. Let's go ahead and get started. I usually write all these things out, but this year I'm just gonna like read through my list and like, you know, yeah, I know what I want. We don't have to make a list about it. I also started doing last year like predictions for each group that I talked about. So I'm gonna do some predictions whether or not I think the group's gonna have a good year or a bad year, maybe throw some other things on there. Let's go ahead and do this thing. Starting off with my ultimates, it's where I literally always start. We'll start off with Super Junior. Super Junior, I feel like in 2020 is going to continue what they started in 2019. Like, ever since, I feel like probably around the middle of the year, Super Junior really picked up, and I feel like that's going to continue into 2020. They're definitely going to release a repackage in January, or no, in the first half of the year, probably in the first quarter of the year, if we're being honest. Then they're going to tour, come to the United States with Super Show 8 so that I can see them in person, and I can meet Donghae, wave to him, tell him how much I love him, and then we will get married and move far away to an island, and it'll be a great time, and I won't have to graduate. I won't have to graduate school. Just kidding. I will live as only as a housewife for the rest of my life. Just kidding. I don't want to do that. But I mean, if he asked me, I wouldn't say no. So yeah. No, I think we're gonna get a KRY Korean album. I swear, if there's no KRY Korean album next year, I'm literally going to take over SM Entertainment. That's it. And I think there'll be another full group Super Junior comeback next year. Whether it'll be like another full-length album or just a mini album, I'm not sure. I'm feeling more like it won't be a full group, like multiple part album. I feel like it'll just be like a mini album maybe. But I think we're gonna see a lot of more individual things, and while I don't think Sungmin will come back to Super Junior as an active member, I hope he does. That would be amazing. I think that he will definitely make another musical appearance somewhere in K-pop next year. This Twitter account called Wonho's Proud of You just followed me. It's so cute. Oh my god, best boy Wonho. Moving on to Infinite. Most of Infinite are going to be in the military for the majority of 2020, if we're being honest. We have a couple of members who will get discharged next year. Also, mid-year next year, I was looking up discharge dates for Infinite, and mid-year next year, apparently it's going to be shortened by another 3 months. So it'll only be 18 months military enlistment time. Thank you, Korea. So Shownu's not allowed to enlist until that rule takes place. He has to wait, okay? He was born in June. I feel like it'll work. Infinite probably won't do much next year, if we're being honest. I think Myungsoo will enlist next year. I think he'll do like one more drama and then he'll enlist in the military. Sungyu will get discharged. I can see him having 2 solo comebacks next year because Woollim doesn't really know how to promote any other group. They barely know how to promote Infinite, but they love Sungyu. So he will definitely get a couple of comebacks next year, and I'm here for it. I'm very excited about it. That's really all I have to say about them. Not much going on there. Monsta X. I think Monsta X, I was thinking about it, and I get this feeling that next year is going to be a monumental year for Monsta X. It's going to be a critical year in the history of them as a group. And I don't really know if I mean that in a good way or a bad way. I don't really know. I hope it's a good way, but I think it's going to be a monumental year. I think after everything that happened in the second half of this year, while still being very successful, I think that it's going to be a big year for them. Shownu is going to enlist next year, which is very sad. I think we'll hear from Wonho next year. I do. I really do. I think even if he doesn't come back to Monsta X, which I'm hoping that when I watch this video at the end of next year that I am very excited, very happy. I definitely think that we will hear from Wonho in 2020, and I definitely think something will happen with him in 2020, and I hope that it's only good things because oh my gosh, he needs only good things to happen. As far as comebacks go, Monsta X will release their first American album, and it will do better than expected. I'm not expecting it to do phenomenal, but I think it'll do better than expected. I also think that they will try to do a world tour before Shonu enlists in the military. Here's to hoping that it actually happens, because I would love to see them one more time. Even if Wonho isn't there, I'd love to see them. I also think that Epic Records in America will renew their contract with Monsta X. Apparently it's only 1 year, so that will expire next year, and hopefully they will renew after the American album does really well. They'll have a couple of comebacks in Korea, and those will do pretty well. And no more bad rumors will happen to Monsta X next year. It's gonna be a great year. It's gonna be a good year. No rumors, no nothing. It's gonna be great. Also, just gonna throw this out here that I think Hansoi and Jungdan will break up in 2020, and Jungdan will lose all her Instagram followers. That's it. I definitely think Monsta X will do a Follow Japan version as well. So yeah, and I think there'll be another part of the Follow Find You series. For sure. I think there'll only be one other part though. I think it's gonna be a 2-part series, but BTS will be interesting next year, because I feel like they're gonna do really well. They're gonna make a comeback within the first quarter of 2020, and it's going to do very well, as BTS things do. I think Jin is going to enlist next year. Actually, I'm fairly certain he will enlist next year. And can I guess what he's gonna enlist as? Let's say, I'm gonna guess that Jin is going to enlist in, he's just gonna do active duty. He's not gonna do anything special. He's just gonna do active duty. BTS, I think once Jin goes to the military, they will release one more album as a 6-membered group next year. Yeah, they'll have a good year. I think they're gonna continue to have a good year, and I will continue buying their albums in Target when they're there. I also think next year Target's gonna start selling another group's albums in person. I know they did EXO for a little bit, and supposedly they did Super M. I never actually saw either of those albums in my Targets, but I think they're gonna start selling another album next year. Hopefully Monsta X's American album will be in Target. That would be amazing if I could just walk in and pick it up. That'd be so great. VIX, I think we're gonna get more military enlistments from VIX next year. Maybe a couple of Ravi solos, but I don't see anything else happening besides of that. BAP will do something. If not the entire group, I can see 2 or 3 members doing something together next year. SHINee will spend most of the year in the military as well, I believe. Taemin will do something else with Super M. He'll also release another solo album next year. Onew gets discharged in July, supposedly, according to this thing I'm looking at. I don't actually know off the top of my head when he gets discharged, but he will release another solo album. And then Kbum will be discharged in October. I don't think he'll get a chance to release anything before 2020 ends, but I can definitely see at least SM releasing another Season's Greetings next year. I wonder when Minho gets discharged. This was made before Minho went into the military. Oh, he'll get discharged in November. Yeah, I think SHINee will have another full group Season's Greetings next year. We're gonna skip over my 6 favorite groups because neither of them do anything. 17, next year I'm going to see them in January. That I feel like is the best way. Like, January is looking pretty good. We got 17th concert, Sungyu getting discharged. I feel like 2020 is gonna start off great after the past couple of months of 2019 have been pretty awful. Yeah, I think 17 will have another really great year. I think they'll finally get the recognition they deserve. And I can also see one member of 17 becoming like really popular, like doing something solo and becoming really popular. So yes, I'm gonna just throw that prediction out there. Golden Child will get 2 comebacks next year because Woollim's not gonna forget about them until November again like they did this year. They're gonna get 2 comebacks and they're gonna do great. I also am gonna throw Woollim Boys in here. I think Woollim Boys will release another single, and then depending on what happens with the X1 situation, I feel like either Tajuno will come back to Woollim, X1 decides not to continue, I think he will go back to Woollim, and maybe they will all debut together. If not, I can see Woollim debuting just the boys that are currently under them. Maybe they'll add 1 or 2 new members before they actually debut. I still feel like they could use a member or 2 more before they're a set team. Yes, I think they will have a super great year. Their debut will go over super well. Day 6 are going to have a really great year next year too. They're going to 2 albums next year. Did Day 6 start military enlistments next year? I feel like they're almost at that age. Yeah, Jay. But Jay, do we think that Jay is going to use, does he have dual citizenship? No, he was born in Argentina. So he's an Argentina citizen. I didn't know Jay was born in Argentina. Whoa, learn something new every day. but he has dual citizenship, maybe? I don't know if he'll need to enlist. So maybe Day 6 doesn't have to start enlisting next year because everyone else is 93 or younger. So NCT, let's talk. NCT are actually not this low on my bias list currently, but we're not going to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. So NCT are going to have a really, really good year. They're going to get a lot more Korean recognition, but they're also going to continue to promote in the United States. They're going to go on a world tour as 127, and I'm going to see them. It's going to be a Friday concert, and I'm going to be able to go. SM, Super Junior, and NCT next year. Yeah, on a Friday. We do that. But yeah, so I'm gonna see them. It's gonna be a great time. I'm gonna see Johnny, and they're going to, let's see, 127 is gonna release 2 or 3 things. Jungwoo's gonna come back to 127, and it's gonna be a great time. We're all gonna be super excited about it. They're going to create one more subunit to do something with the rest of the Dreamies, and WayV are going to start doing more Korean promotions. They're going to promote in China and then also promote in Korea. And then I can also see somebody from NCT getting a solo album next year, or some sort of solo thing or subunit thing, different units. I think it'll be a good year for NCT. Ateez is going to go on their world tour next year. They're going to keep getting more and more popular. They're going to be very popular by the end of 2020. I think that somebody will become way more popular for a strange reason, like a meme or something on the internet is going to go viral, and then they're going to become really popular, or they're going to say something that's going to be really popular. It's going to be like a weird reason, but one member is going to become super popular. The Ateez are going to do great. They're going to make 3 comebacks next year, and they're going to go on their world tour. And I probably can't see them this time around, which is really sad, but yes, I will definitely continue buying their albums and stuff. CIX are here too, so I think they're gonna have a good year next year. They're gonna get lots of recognition, all the love and attention they deserve. Everyone's gonna stand CIX. Newies don't have to start enlisting either because Aaron is born in the United States. Everyone else is a 95 liner, so look at all these young men. Oh, he was born in 1993. Just kidding. Look at all these young men I stan. Don't have to enlist yet. That's fun. Newies will have 2 albums next year. One of them's gonna do okay, and the other one is gonna do really, really well. GOT7 are checking all of these groups to see if anyone has to enlist because I don't know off the top of my head. I don't think so. GOT7 are so young. Oh my gosh. They really have every single year except 95. Why do you hate 95 liners? Yeah, GOT7 will have 2 comebacks next year. And also there will be a JJ project comeback. We're gonna speak it into existence. SF9 are going to get the love and attention they deserve. After 2 of the members were in very popular dramas this year, they're going to make a comeback and they're going to do super well, and everyone's gonna realize they've been sleeping on SF9 this entire time, and they're going to want to kick themselves for it because yes, Stray Kids will continue to do well as 8 members. We will hear from Woojin next year. It won't be in the way we expect to hear from him, but we will hear from him, and we will learn more about why he actually ended up leaving Stray Kids. We will get our questions answered in 2020. Let's talk about YG in general right now. So YG, I think, is going to have another rough year. I think they're going to try to save themselves with this Blackpink comeback. The Blackpink comeback's gonna do great. It's gonna do, you know, what Blackpink albums do well. We're not even gonna pretend they don't. They do really well. But it's not going to be enough to save YG after everything that happened to YG this past year. And there's going to be one more group who leaves YG Entertainment next year. An entire group is just gonna say, see you later. I think that if Treasure 13 debut, it won't be the same Treasure 13 that we thought it was going to be. It's going to be very different. I think Winter will have another comeback, but it really won't do that well, which is that makes me sad. I shouldn't say things like that. They're my favorite YG group, but I think YG overall is going to have a tough year. Pentagon will start gaining momentum again after their rough year in 2019, which doesn't sound like they had a rough year, but their albums, they hit their peak with Shine, but I feel like they're coming back for a second peak. I feel like that'll happen. Somewhere along the lines, we will see an Edon Pentagon interaction, and we're all gonna cry about it. X1 and IZ*ONE, we'll talk about them real quick before we get into girl groups. So X1 and IZ*ONE, I think the whole produce thing, there will be 2 entertainment companies that'll be revealed to have been majorly involved in the scandal, and some very high up people in those companies will be sent to jail. And then I think real ranking is going to be leaked. I don't think it's going to be purposefully by the people who originally have it. I think it's going to be leaked, like somebody is going to post it on the internet with the intention of posting it, but it's not going to be the people in charge of this case. It's going to be somebody else, but we won't know that information. And I think that IZ*ONE and X1 will have a difficult time continuing, but I do think that somehow some of the members will continue either in X1 and IZ*ONE or in groups under their own companies, and they will continue to do well. I hope I'm wrong about that one. APink will have 2 comebacks next year. Plan A is planning on debuting a new girl group next year. This isn't like a rumor, this is factual information. They will do an APink comeback to help fund this debut, and then when the debut does okay, they'll bring another Victon comeback, and then they'll do another APink comeback. And we'll also get a lot more individual activities and maybe some acting from some of the girls next year. I hope they do something. They'll also make a Japanese comeback because it's been a long time. It's been over a year. So Red Velvet will continue to do really well. They're going to release something that's going to be on level with Peekaboo and Bad Boy. They're going to finally be up there with those 2 songs. I feel like ever since Bad Boy has come out, nothing else has quite been up to par with it. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't really look into Red Velvet's album sale numbers and chart numbers all that much, but I feel like from just the general vibe that nothing has quite topped Bad Boy and Peekaboo yet. So they're going to do something that's going to top that. One of the members is going to release a solo album next year. Red Velvet will make 3 comebacks next year. They will prove to be one of the most powerful groups under SM Entertainment, and SM will release a new girl group next year too, but their main breadwinner female wise, well, I guess Tan keeps the company lights on, but it'll be a lot of Tan and Red Velvet next year. Lovelies will get the love and attention they deserve next year. Woollim's not going to forget about them again. They're going to promote them. They're going to get a different concept. After their Queendom appearance, everyone kind of saw that they could do different kinds of concepts. So Woollim's going to try to do something with them, and it's not going to do that great, and then they're going to try something else, and that's going to do really great. So yeah, Luna will finally freaking get a comeback in 2020. They'll get a comeback. The comeback's gonna do really well because we all need to support Luna when they make a comeback, because I swear to God, if we just let Luna fizzle away into nothing after everything they went through with their 12 members and all their solo albums and everything, yeah, it's gonna be great. They're gonna release different album packaging though. It's gonna be like a new start to Luna is how they're going to sell it. Gugudon will make a comeback next year, and it's gonna do really well. Feel like Gugudon will either do really well next year or they'll lose a member. That's my guess. Oh My Girl is going to do really well. They're going to gain a lot more recognition in Korea. Dreamcatcher is going to continue to do well, but they're going to do better in Japan than in Korea. Promise 9 is going to do really well with IZ*ONE having issues. Their company is going to focus a lot on Promise 9, and they're going to get quite a few comebacks next year, and they're all going to do super well. Rocket Punch will get a comeback within the first half of the year from Woollim Entertainment, and it'll do amazing. It'll do so well that Woollim literally won't know what to do, and they'll panic, and then they'll go away for 6 months, and then they'll release another album towards the end of the year, and that'll also do really well. And Woollim's gonna panic because they're not gonna know what to do with a successful group, because every time their group starts to gain momentum, they panic. And I think that's everyone I want to talk about. There aren't really any other, there are other groups on here I could talk about, but those are just the ones that I'm going to talk about. Go ahead and leave your predictions of things you think are going to happen in 2020 for your favorite K-pop groups down in the comment section down below. And yeah, what you want from your faves next year. Even if we have the same faves, maybe you don't want the same things as me. But yeah, thanks so much for watching this video. I will see you guys very, very soon. Bye.